I'm part of a team that has been working on Paleo Lake Megachad. We've been studying this for two reasons. Firstly, it shows evidence of climatic change in North Africa, going from a giant lake that was 6,000 kilometres long to now just a very, very small lake. And as that lake has dried out, it's left a dry lake bed sediments which have been picked up by the wind and eroded. Now, wind then carries that sediment out across the Atlantic Ocean and right across the Atlantic as far as the Amazon basin. Taking with it, the dust carries nutrients which are now helping to fertilise both the Amazon jungle and the tropical parts of the Atlantic Ocean.
One of the tools I use for my research is ground penetrating radar, and this gives us a new insight into the shallow subsurface. We use the radar to image, in this case in Antarctica, we're looking at sand dunes. And you might wonder, what are sand dunes doing in Antarctica? It's not the first place in the world that you expect to go to find sand dunes. Well, there are two reasons why we're investigating them. One is because they're unusual and just simply cold climate dunes are not very well understood. The other is that this provides an analogue for sand dunes on Mars, because Antarctica is the coldest, windiest and driest continent on Earth, and it's the most similar environment that we have as an analogue to the surface of Mars, which is also very dry, very cold and very windy. And sand dunes are widespread on Mars, particularly up towards the polar areas, which at the North Pole there is an ice cap. So we're doing this partly for an analogue to see how dunes behave in a cold climate and how surface processes operating on Earth can be compared with surface processes on Mars, but also to understand the dunes in Antarctica themselves. And we've been trying to use the radar to image the internal structure of the dunes to show how that they have evolved and migrated over time. And then we've used optical dating to try to determine the age of the dunes and work out how fast they've been migrating over time. And it appears, on a basis of modern observations and some of these dates, that the dunes appear to be moving a little bit quicker in the present day than they have in the past. And that might possibly be an indicator of warming in Antarctica. But that is somewhat hypothetical.